So when you're going through something that's troubling, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through awful things, you can take those problems and you can bring them to God yourself. Okay. We back again. Way and word. There's knowledge in every session. We don't take losses. We only learn lessons. My name's Chris. I'm not your pastor, but I might preach to you sometimes. Today I got a good one for you. I got a great one because it is so relevant to all of our lives. The title of today's lesson is 3 Ways Your Faith Functions in Times of Trouble. 3 ways your faith functions in times of trouble. Here's what I know. And I'm sure you know, but I'm just going to remind you. Life isn't just roses and rainbows and funny bunny rabbits, and love and all that candy-coated stuff. There are times life is hard. There are times life can be challenging. It can be troubling. There are many of us who right now are suffering because of things that are going on within your life. Well, when I think about some of the challenges that many of us had in life, I went back and I started thinking about 2020 and the lockdowns and how so many people were going through mental illness, loneliness. They were going through many different things because the world was changing so quickly and it was hard to wrap our minds around it. And sometimes when we go through change, it can cause lots of anxiety. It can cause depression. But today I want to talk about how our faith can work to carry us through some of our trials and tribulations, how our faith can work to help us, to aid us, even in the hardest, toughest times of our lives. How faith can also function and how faith can fight even in the midst of our worst moments. When I think about faith, I have to think about the great philosopher DMX when he said, "To live is to suffer, but to survive is to find meaning in that suffering." And one thing faith can help us in is being able to overcome anything that is put into our lives. And so what is faith? Well, in the Bible, in Hebrews 11:1, it says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that is the ESV version. There's also other versions. I want to go to the New Living Translation version. It gives you a little bit more understanding as far as the thought of the scripture. And what it says there is, faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. So what is faith? Faith is believing in something, but yet not necessarily seeing what you're believing, but you believe in it because of what it means to you. And God has indwelled in us a faith quadrant inside of our body. How do I know that? Well, here's the thing. When you go into a room and you see a whole bunch of chairs, before you sit down on the chair, do you start inspecting the legs of the chair and start looking at the wood, the seat, and into the back? No, you don't do that. You see a chair, you say it looks like a chair, and you sit your butt right on that chair because you have faith that that chair, even though you have not ever sat in it, is going to hold your weight. That has been put inside of us by God. The attribute to have faith. but yet he wants us to have faith in a certain way. And he also has given us a faith that actually functions in many different facets in our life. And it actually activates really, really, really bright when we are in troubled times. Think about like how faith carries us through and how faith is a fighting faith. It fights for us. How faith functions to help us in times of need. And it just really reminded me of like, I don't know. I mean, I only can speak to my own experiences, but there are times when I go to the gym, or there are times when like I used to go to like a sporting event right before I played any kind of sport. But I'm just going to keep it at these days. I don't play sports. So when I go to the gym, and let's say I'm at the gym and I'm working on like bench press, and for some reason the muscle pumps, they're not hitting as hard as they usually are. I'm tired on levels because maybe I stayed up too late. My workout is struggling. It's not doing what I want it to do. Well, I'm telling you what I do usually. When my workout is struggling, I don't just keep struggling with the workout. I start thinking to myself, what can I do to get my levels up? What can I do to get through this workout? What can I do to get energized, to do what I need to do to get the workout that I desired when I got here? What happens here is, because I love music, and music really powers me in so many ways. So what I do is I have a special playlist that when I play this playlist, it's called the Power Up playlist. Yeah, I named it after a Mario game reference, Powered Up playlist. But when I play the playlist, it raises my levels. It raises my energy levels. It gets me more focused on what I'm doing and what I'm in the middle of. Sometimes faith is like that, where when you tap into that faith, it actually zones you into being able to carry you through things that may be depressing you or pushing you down or making you wayward, that it gives you that extra boost. That faith gives you that fight to function even in the bad times. And that's a lot like my Power Up playlist when I'm trying to work out in the gym. I know y'all see, I know I'm talking to certain people. Maybe y'all don't understand what I'm talking about. Don't y'all have them songs that you listen to, and all of a sudden, like when you get that song, when you hear that song, it puts you in a whole different mind state where you think you can go out and really take over the world? Y'all don't got none of those? I'm gonna have to play some of these songs. Look, let me put my earphones on, because y'all ain't about to play me today. I'm telling you, we all got these songs. When it's time for me to really power up, because I don't necessarily know what I'm doing right now, but I need to get to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I gotta play that music. Hey, when this song comes on, it's go time. Come on. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't be getting excited when this song come on. It's go time. Then when he comes with the lyrics,
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power.
Stop it. Y'all know y'all be getting hyped when they come on. When that man said, scream for the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero needs his theme music. Come on now. Hey, that right there, that goes. How about this one? Hey, sometimes it don't just jump in. Like that song by Kanye, it just jumps right in, gets you fully energized. Sometimes it just slow burns you in, because you know what's about to come is going to be just a full on adrenaline rush that you're gonna need. Look, how about this song? Come on now. Don't play with me. Hey, when this song goes so hard, But it's the build up. Get you ready. It's like you about to walk through a tunnel, run out for after halftime. You down by 24, but you know you're gonna end up winning at the end. Hey, it sets you up like that. Then you got them just talking.
Cause sometimes you just feel tired, you feel weak.
Come on.
And when you feel weak, you feel like you want to just give up. But you gotta search within you.
Let's go, Eminem. I'm sure he gonna be with the Detroit Lions this weekend, trying to tell them what's what with this song. Stop playing with me. It's that Power Up playlist. You know, and look, it ain't all rap. It ain't all rap. I got something for some of the rock and roll guys. Hey, how do you react when this song comes on? How do you react when this song comes on? Y'all playing with me. Y'all playing with me. You know you be ready to run through a wall when this song come on. Especially when you start singing. Come on. Taking their time right behind my back. What? And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. What? Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. Then the guitars come in. Y'all playing with me. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I talk about this? Huh? Hey, then you know, there's a song me and my son, we got to play. Like, he got to play it before he goes to soccer, and I just got to play it before I do anything of nature. Matter of fact, I may have played it before I even started this video. This song right here. Let's go. Come on.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about.
What we all about?
Like this, this is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the day.
Come on now. If that don't get you going, check your pulse. And I know some of the female audience, you might be like, I don't listen to any of them songs. Them songs are for some guys. But sometimes the same song that you go to the club in is the same song that you go to the gym at. I don't know why, but they sometimes give you the same energy. I know when the girls are probably at the gym or in the club and this song come on, it just totally raises up everything. Yep. How about it? Oh, no? Am I wrong? So, that ain't on my playlist. I just added it just because I wanted to be inclusive about other people's playlists that may get them super hyped. But I know every woman has to get that Beyonce popping, and it's all over. Yeah. All right, enough of that. So, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say here is the same way that songs motivate us to elevate, to persevere, is the same way our faith can help us persevere. And so we're going to look in the Bible. We're going to talk about 3 ways that your faith functions even in the hard times of your life. Let's turn to Hebrews chapter 10, verses 19 to 22. Because I want to talk about the first way. The first way your faith functions in hard times is that our faith gives us direct connection to who Jesus is. Our faith, it gives us a direct communication connection to Jesus Christ himself. Check this out. Hebrews 10:19-22, New Living Translation. And so, dear brothers and sisters, we can boldly enter heaven's most holy place because of the blood of Jesus. Because of his death, Jesus opened a new and life-giving way through the curtain into the most holy place. And since we have a great high priest who rules over God's house, let us go right into the presence of God with sincere hearts, fully trusting him. For our guilty consciences have been sprinkled with Christ's blood to make us clean, and our bodies have been washed with pure water. So basically, it's really hearkening back to an Old Testament understanding, because prior to Jesus dying on the cross, there was only one way you could communicate with God, and that was that a priest would have to bring all of the sacrifices of all the people into a temple. And when the priest went into the temple, then he could communicate directly with God through sacrifices, through ordinances. But it was only through the priest inside the temple, and actually not just inside the temple, but inside a part of the temple. The part of the temple was called the Holies of Holies, and that is where you could communicate with God. But and just to show you what this was, there's the temple, and then there will be a veil, and where the veil is, then you would be able to go past the veil into the Holy of Holies. But if you see here where Hebrews is saying, because the Hebrews was written after Christ died, what Hebrews is saying here is, on verse 20, it says, by his death, Jesus opened a new and life-giving way through what? The curtain, the veil, into the most holy place. So in Luke 23, it said when Jesus died that the veil between the temple and the Holy of Holies is split in two. What does that mean? That means now we don't need a priest to bring our petitions to God. We actually can go to God ourselves. So when you're going through something that's troubling, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through awful things, you can take those problems and you can bring them to God yourself. You can take your issues and lay them at the feet of Jesus yourself. And I'm so glad that we have a high priest in Jesus. Somewhere in the book of Hebrews, it says that he understands the things we go through because he has went through them. But the difference between us and him is he didn't sin by going through them. Sometimes we can get caught in all kinds of situations and lose our ever-loving mind and do things we said we would never do. But we have a man who will listen to us, who will understand us, who will understand what we're going through, who will actually have empathy for what we're going through and care for what we're going through. But because he has absolutely felt the things that are similar to us, but yet he never fell to them. He may have felt them, but he never fell to them. And I'm just really excited that we can take our issues to God. If I couldn't take my issues to God, I don't know what I would do, because there are certain things in Chris's life that education don't fix, medication don't fix, money don't fix, people don't fix, therapists don't fix, counselors don't fix, that only God can fix. So we have a faith that is directly connected to who God is, and it gives us the opportunity to take anything we need to him ourselves. And that is a powerful thing, especially when you're in deep, dark waters, when you're in deep, dark depression, troubles, issues. We have a God that we can bring all of our petitions to. The second way our faith functions in hard times is that our faith is built on the promises of God. Look at Hebrews 10:23, verse 23. Hebrews 10, verse 23. Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promises. So our faith is not just directly connected to God where we can communicate with God anytime that we need to, but it's also built on the promises of God. The thing we need to understand about who God is God can do almost anything, but there's one thing that he cannot do, and that is fail. That whenever he says that he promises, it comes true, and we can always bank on it. I am a skeptic by heart. I don't believe people. I go through life thinking you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent. I'm one of those types. Glass half empty, super pessimistic, always skeptical about everything. But the one thing that I can bank on is that whatever God has said is true, and I can fully believe 100%. And he has made promises. Let's just talk about some of the promises that he has made that we can build our faith on. God has always promised that he would be with us. God promised that he would watch over us. God promised that he would strengthen us. God promised that he would comfort us. God promised that he would protect us. God promised that he would always provide a way out of temptation. God promised that he would never leave us nor forsake us. These are the promises of God. And if my faith is built on those promises, that even when I can't see him because the things that I'm going through is overwhelming me, I can be reminded that he is faithful and he will carry me through. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. While everything else is going crazy around you, he is the one that guides you out of storms. I look back over my life and I see all the different times where I thought maybe it was me that got me out of trouble, but it was God that guided me right out. There are many parts of my life that I can say it was all God, not me. If you look back over your life, you will see where God saved you even from yourself. You would see where God basically got you out of that terrible relationship. You would see where God got you away from drugs, away from alcohol. You would see where God led you out of that abusive situation. You would see where God got you off of the street. You would see where God led you to a greater purpose. You would see where God has led you to higher heights and away from the depressions and the issues that you suffered all throughout. It was God. We like to give ourselves credit, but it's God that guides us because God has promised. And his promises will never be void. So what's the second thing? The first thing, that we have direct communication with God through Jesus Christ. The second thing, that our faith is built on the promises of God. The third way our faith functions in troubled times is God provides aid in the form of human beings. Look at Hebrews 10:24-25. Let us think of ways to motivate one another in acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. So realize, while we go through issues, God is actively putting people around us to help us. God is actively positioning certain people in your life, in your aura, in your atmosphere to help you along, to guide you out of the issues, to show you a better way. I think about the times I was out there wilding. I wasn't always, I'm still not. I'm, like I said, I'm your neighborhood guy just trying to get it right. But there were times I was out there wilding, crazy. Nobody leave anything in the comments section about it if you know me personally, but I was wilding. But here's what I know. As I was out there, as I was wilding, as I'm still sometimes struggling, there are people that are praying for me. How's that song go? Somebody pray for me. Had me on their mind. They took a little time to pray for me. Even while you're wilding, there's a sister, there's a brother, there's a stranger that's praying for you. There's a mother, there's a father, there's a friend that's praying for you. My entire life, from being destitute, disgusted, and remarkably terrible to being a child of God, was all built off the back of praying warriors. People who were talking to God on my behalf because they had the connection. So God actually puts people in place to help us. And you never know where they come from. You never know how it works. But he does do that. And that's how our faith functions, even in hard times. So, one, our faith functions in hard times by giving us a direct connection to God. Two, our faith functions in hard times by standing on the promises of God. And three, our faith functions in hard times by God giving us aid via other people within this life. And I don't know about you all, but I need all the help I can get, because life is hard, but trouble don't last always. And there's always the dawn after a dark night. So just realize, even while you're going through something, you have a faith that can overcome. You have a faith that can get you through. You have a faith in a person that can move that storm away from your life. All right, now, way and word. If you like this, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Why don't you hit the bell also, or whenever I put out a video, you are notified right away. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great time. And I hope that this powered you up as much as my playlist be powering me up when I'm in the gym. With that said, way and word out.